Okay, I was reeling in my power bait and just taking a break here fishing power bait. I was reeling it in and I was just lifting it and dropping it, and sure enough a trout took it, so I'm going to let him have it, and he's swimming off on it. That's a good tip. You don't necessarily have to just sit there with power bait sitting on the bottom, and you can see that fish taking line now. If I engage this, I'm going to have him. You can jig it across the bottom very slowly, and a lot of times you'll pick up a fish just like that. Oh yeah. Ooh, there we go. Oh, that's a lot of fun on that spinning rod. Oh yeah. Oh, loving it. Ooh, that's a big fish. Oh boy. That's a nice fish. He's pulling me all around this buoy here. Oh, that's a nice big fish. Power bait, man. There we go. Oh, buddy. Oh, that's a big rainbow right there. That's probably 5 pounds. Oh man. Oh, that's awesome. And that's on a rod you haven't seen before too. That's my new trout spinning rod. I've been playing with this for over a year, and man, it got the job done there. That was cool. That was really cool.
Howdy folks, Cal Kellogg here. A good spinning rod is critical equipment for any trout angler. Whether you fish from a boat, a kayak, or off the bank, you need a good quality spinning rod. They allow us to throw light lures, they allow us to throw light sinkers, they allow us to fan cast to points and tributaries, and they allow us to fan cast, off the bank, or to soak power bait, inflated worms, stuff like that, off the bank. But one of the problems I find with spinning rods is I see guys all the time at lakes soaking power bait on spinning rods that sell for $100, $150, $200. In my view, that kind of price point for a spinning rod is absolutely ridiculous. So, I set out a year ago to find what I considered to be the ultimate trout spinning rod at the ultimate price point, and I came up with this rod right here that I'm selling in the Fish Hunt Shoot Productions store for, get ready, $50. That's it. $50. You want 2 rods, you got a 2 rod sticker, $100, you're outfitted with 2 rods, matched, ready to go, ready for bank fishing, ready for trolling, top line trolling from your boat or kayak, whatever. They're $50 a piece. What's so special about these rods? Let me break it down for you. First and foremost, got it wrapped on the tip there. First and foremost, it has a cork grip. I love the feel of cork in my hands. That was very important to me. I wanted a rod that wasn't too long or wasn't too short, so I came up with a 6-foot, 6-inch stick. It's a 2-piece rod. That means it's transportable. If you have a little car or you have a small space to store your rod, take it apart, take it in half. It's very packable. It's a fiberglass rod. It is rated for, here we go, I'm unwrapped. It is rated for lures that range from 1/8 to a 1/2 ounce. Think about it, most of our trout spoons are anywhere from 1/8 to a 1/4 ounce, so that's perfect. Most of the time when we're bait fishing, we're using a bullet weight that's anywhere from 1/8 to 3/8 of an ounce, so the weight range is perfect. It's rated for 4 to 10 pound test. I prefer 8-pound mono most of the time. Sometimes I drop down to 6, so those numbers all worked out for me. But most important for me is the action of a spinning rod when I'm fishing for trout. I don't want a rod that's too fast. If I'm using a real fast rod like a bass rod, a lot of times I get a little overly excited. I'll set the hook when I'm doing power bait or a worm, and I'll snap the leader if the rod's too fast. If you've got a fast action rod and you're using like a Rapala, it's got those tiny little hooks on it and hook a big fish, sometimes you'll pull those hooks right out of the fish's mouth. Conversely, you'll see some guys out at the lake and they're using, super parabolic, noodle action rods. That's all fun and games when you're catching pan-sized trout. That's fine, but you let those guys hook into a 6, 8, 10-pound, fish at Comanche or Collins or wherever. They may land the fish, but they're going to have zero control. I like a rod that gives me some backbone. I like to be able to steer that fish away from snags, steer that fish into the bank, steer that fish into the boat, guide that fish into the net. Invariably, when you have a big fish on, you usually only get one shot at it with the net, and it's important to have some backbone in the rod that you can control the fish with. So let's take a look at the action of this rod. This rod is what I consider to be a medium fast action. Let me kind of line this up. It's hard to see on the camera. I think, let's see, there we go. I think you can see that. You can see that rod has a lot of bend, a lot of sensitivity in the upper third. But when you get back, beyond that, that rod has a tremendous amount of backbone. I can even pull drag with it. Watch the backbone in this rod. I think you can see that. I'll start to pull drag, but notice how that midsection of the rod, it remains relatively straight. It's got enough sensitivity, it's got enough flex in the tip that a fish can take a lure or take the bait while feeling zero resistance, but it's got enough backbone that I can land a big fish. I could land a keeper striper on this rod if I just took my time, used the action of the rod and the leverage of the backbone to just wear the fish down, give him different angles. I would have no problem landing a big striper on this rod. That's what I want in my trout spinning rod. I catch a lot of pan-sized trout, and they're fun to catch. But I'm out there looking for big fish, and I want a rod that I can land a big fish on. In the opening segment, you saw me land a 5+ pound rainbow at Collins Lake this last week using this rod, and I was able to control the fish. I was tied up to a buoy. There was a big chain underneath me. I was able to control the fish, bring him up to the surface, and get him into the net effectively. So if you're looking for a very good spinning rod at a fantastic price, click on over to the Fish Hunt Shoot Productions store. Wes will throw up a link here somewhere. I don't know how that stuff works. And you can pick up one of my signature series trout spinning rods for $50. You're not going to beat that price anywhere when it comes to a rod with this level of effectiveness out on the trout water. So anyway, I'm Kel Kellogg. I'm signing off. If you're looking for a good spinning rod, consider picking up one of my signature series rods. They will not let you down. They flat out perform, and it's a good looking rod too. Brown, maroon. It's just a dandy all-around fishing rod. So anyway, you guys have a great day. I will catch you next time right here on YouTube. I got to run around here. It is Sunday morning. I got to do some chores. I got to run some errands. I got to do all that kind of stuff. So you folks have a great day. I want to thank you for all the support you've been giving the channel, and I will be back here real soon with more fishing reports, fishing tips, and fishing news. Thanks a lot, guys. I'm Kel Kellogg, and I'm signing off.
FishHuntShoot.com offers a variety of tackle as well as rods and reels designed to get you on more and bigger fish. Check it out today at FishHuntShoot.com.